MGR forever. We talked about it earlier, and you surmised why it took so long for the DH to come here in this league.
Well, a lot of the owners didn't want to. They wanted the two leagues to be separate. They wanted there's a lot of guys who were old school baseball guys who like the pitcher to hit, and they made the game more exciting to them, because there was more moves you had to make, pinch hit and double switches, and they said the game's going to get too stale if you just have the DH all the time, and so, but eventually, that DH has become a big job.
They got Doc here with one of the best. Now, also, interleague play, why so long?
I have no idea.
What's none?
I really don't. And the only thing I can surmise is, the big towns, New York, Chicago, L.A., they have both teams draw, and where if you're in Miami, you're playing the Tampa Bay Rays. Nobody goes to either game, so so it's not that exciting down there where it is up here.
Your thoughts on analytics, the way it's interjected so much in the game, has that taken away from the game too, Terry?
Well, I think you can give too much information. It's about playing. And talent plays. And a lot of times, it's nice to have a little inside, hey, look, you have an idea. But guys are going up there now with all this data. Well, I got a 30% chance to get a slider here. I got a 25% chance it's going to be a changeup. Instead of just going up and hunting a fastball and then making adjustments. And so I think it's a little, sometimes it's too much. I think it's really nice for the coaches to have. That if you've got some data that says, hey, this guy's losing his spin on his curveball, then you go fix it. But I think you tell a pitcher, hey, you're losing spin on your curveball, they'll panic. Instead of so I think for coaches, I think it's okay, but I think sometimes it's too much for the players.
With the right pitcher, Koufax and Marichal, Gibson, and Seaver, it kind of don't matter.
It don't matter. I asked Sandy one day about 2 months ago. I said, how would you handle that runner at second base in the 10th inning? He looked at me and he said, well, I'm going to walk the next guy intentionally, and I'm going to get a double play ball and strike out the next guy, and I'm walking off the field. And I said, well, you could do that.
One of the class acts inside and outside the dugout. Always good to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks.
Dugout Doc here.
All right.
Thanks so much. Murph, what brings you back today? Like I didn't know.
Yeah, number 5. That's what's going to pack the whole house. Again, it's not the first time number 5's packed the house here, so happy to be invited back to celebrate his achievements.
You're looking like a me. Now, he had contemplated a comeback, didn't he? When you talk about a comeback, what happened, Murph? Changing the mind? Now, it's funny we talk about today because Manny Pacquiao's coming back today. His comeback fight. What was the obstacles that caused you to say no more?
I'm old, and they're young and fast. They just kicked the crap out of me with a smile on their face. I just tried to come back and bowl. Just wasn't quite good enough, and so I think back of all the kind of the things I learned from David, even as I came back to play, and I got to play like a child plays is what I was trying to do, and that makes me think of like watching David and how much joy he got playing and being able to be his teammate and how he led us just from the front as someone who was so consistent. And so I think hardworking every single day and what he brought for us.
Murph, he led people, but he led good people. You're in that class too, so let's not get it twisted, baby. Mm-hmm. Now, how was it like playing in New York? Was there always an extra pressure playing here?
I think there's pressure in the sense of how well the fans know the game. Like they know their ball. Like to me, this is the home of baseball. Like this is where baseball grew up, and so their passion comes out, I think, in their knowledge, especially for their fans and for their team. And so I wouldn't think more pressure. I think of like David took on a lot of the responsibility because he was our best player to speak with the media and always be accountable. And he ended up being not only having to be accountable for himself, but for the rest of us as well too. And so, there's definitely pressure, but I think, like I've said this before, there's no better place to win, you know what I mean, than New York City. There's no better place to win.
There was a time you were doing some raking there too, Murph.
Yeah, we caught a heater. We all caught a little heater in 2015.
Thoughts, now you come here today in New York, what are you doing nowadays?
Oh, chasing my kids around. I got 3 boys and a daughter. Got a couple of baseballers myself, and then my daughter likes to do some ice skating. And then we got a little 2-year-old that is about to start. He's been running around and hasn't gotten the ball quite yet. I think right now it's summertime, enjoying the family. I do miss being on the circuit, coming to the ballpark every day. But the ability and I think the blessing that baseball has provided my family and I is just, I can't say enough about being able to be home with my kids and my family.
You were a blessing too. Did you have a favorite number that you liked or you wanted to wear?
Number? Probably 28. I mean, just because that's what they gave me. Well,
I asked Willie Mays that one time why he wore 24. He said that's the number they gave me.
That's the one,
But they talk. Hank Aaron used to have he had a high number as a rookie. Then the Braves gave him number 5. And he said I wanted a big number, so they gave him number 44. He had 44 home runs 4 times.
they should have asked for 50.
Well, the road secretary said I should have gave him 66.
Yeah, no, should have grabbed him a big old number. That's a cool story.
Yeah. And one year, him and Willie McCovey tied for the National League. They both hit 44 home runs, and they both were number 44.
Now that's a bit of trivia.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
That's a trivia question.
Only in America, Don King.
There we go.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
always a pleasure watching you play. Thanks for taking some
Appreciate
time,
it.
man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This will be fun today.
Yeah. Doc Stanley here in the dugout, one of the best to come out of the dugout. Okay, dugout Doc Stanley with a baseball player, Cliff Floyd, with a singer's name. How you been doing, Cliff?
What's up, bro? Chilling.
Yeah.
Chilling.
How's the family? I remember.
Everybody's great.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing well. No complaints.
What was it like playing in New York? People said that the fans are so intelligent, but there was always sort of a pressure.
Yeah, the pressure part of it was just what you put on yourself, man. Like, you got to go out there and perform. The game doesn't wait for anybody, right? So, when you hear, you know what the expectations are, and you go out there and you kind of just try to handle the business in your head, right? Try to take care of everything that's going to give you a chance to go out there and be great. And at the end of the day, I always tell myself, throw that game away, throw that moment away, and move on to the next one.
Did you have a favorite number?
I always thought 30 was me. I don't know why. Like when D talked about number 5, it had no sentimental value to me. We creatures of habit. So anytime you get a chance to put something on and it has some success with it, you kind of keep it and just ride with it.
So what are you doing nowadays, Cliff?
I'm on TV. I'm doing pre and post in Chicago. I'm doing MLB Network here in Jersey. Trying to stay relevant in a good way without being over the top. Don't want to overwhelm myself, but having fun with it. And I keep myself kind of just in the moment, right? How much information I really want to give myself to go out there and kind of give the fans the knowledge that I know, but also not reinvent the wheel, but evolve with the game.
Cliff, what's the similarities between Chi-Town and New York and the differences?
I think Chi-Town's just more laid back, man. Like when I'm there, it's just laid back. They're really good fans. They just not on their players as much. Here it's just, I'm gonna tell you, the fans are true, but they hard. They're hard on you. You know what I mean? And you got to be ready for it. And if you ain't ready for it, I've seen many come and go real quick.
If you remember the Phillies fan, Dr. J said, Philly, you slam one down, Mr. Lab, ooh.
That's it. That's the real deal Holyfield. There ain't nothing wrong with that. If you can't handle it, man, they'll let you know. And it ain't. I don't think it's really a bad thing. I think if you kind of walk them in and kind of know what it is.
They're paying their money.
They pay money. They get to do what they want to do. I just always say, at the end of the day, don't look at it like we're not trying our best.
Okay.
And that's the problem, right? Like it's like if that gets overlooked, then I think it's just not fair. And that's all I've ever. I said, just be fair. Be fair with what's going on. And I know expectations are expectations. I know the final 3 outs are, the most precious 3 outs. I know coming through runners in scoring position in a crucial situation is I understand all that stuff, but that dude on the mound getting paid a lot of money to get me out. You know what I'm saying?
Doc Stanley, dugout Doc. Good to see you.
Yes,
Hero
sir.
and friend,
Thank you.
Cliff Floyd. Thank you.